1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hello, here I am. It's Mike Bowley, or MickMacMike when he's nervous. And this is episode 4, where I am an a storyteller. What the heck is that? Hello, I'm your host, MickMacMike. It's a pleasure to see you all once again, and I hope you've all had a good, decent week and a safe one. So let's go straight into the episode and start giving you some more information about me. Welcome to Scripted Authenticity, a brand new weekly podcast in which I discuss anthropomorphism, literature, creativity, and everything in between. As your host, I'm excited to take you on a journey of discovery and insight for both yourselves and me. But first, I wish to talk about my journey as a writer of anthropomorphism storytelling. But before that, what is anthropomorphism? You may well ask. In layman's terms, it is the act of assigning human-like characteristics or behavior to non-human entities like animals, objects, or even natural phenomena. It is when we attribute human qualities, emotions, or intentions to something that is not really human. So why do I know that? Well, for the past 7 years, I have been in that magical world of the anthropomorphic storytelling genre, with the result of my first enchanting book, Adventures, Barbarians and Devil's Breath. It is now available in hardback and softback, or you might call it paperback. I will add the link to Amazon down below, so you can check out the synopsis and my bio to see whether you wish to delve deeper still into my culminating short stories of life here in South America in an anthropomorphic style. Do you like it? I'm getting through that word now. It's such a hard word when I first started. I started learning it 6 months ago. Now, if you're an ebook or an audiobook fan, you will love this next announcement. The ebook version will be available on the 27th of this month, and a month later, on the 27th of March, the audiobook version will arrive in all its glory. I'm looking forward to both of them. I'm old-fashioned. I love having a book in my hand. And my friend Mark in Into Print and Paragon back in England, he has just sent me an email yesterday letting me know that copies of the hardback and softback, or paperback, are on their route to me here now. So it'll be another 4 or 5 days, I suspect, before I receive them. But at that one point, I shall read that book as if I didn't know the author, and I'll probably criticize it to hell and back. I hope you guys don't. I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you're a podcast fan, then you can follow the book with yours truly narrating each chapter with an extra aspect of having the backstory of each anthropomorphic style character or animated object talking directly to you. It was such fun writing that book like that. I really enjoyed myself. And if you're a budding author, check it out. Check out the way that you can write in an anthropomorphic style. It has so many benefits. I must do a video about it one day to explain why I just fell in love with doing it. And even though I didn't know there was a name for the genre that I was actually writing, or the style I was writing in. As I progressed through adulthood, I encountered more modern iterations of anthropomorphism in popular culture, such as animated films like Disney's The Lion King, Snow White, The Seven Dwarfs, and one of my favourites, Jungle Book. I still laugh when they start dancing at the end, the bear and so forth, and I just find it funny. I've got a big funny bone. Mine's the size of a telegraph pole. Can't help it. I've always had it, and I get told off for having a funny bone, but that's me. That's the way I am. I often look for the funny things in any situation before I look at the more serious stuff. Over the years, I have likely developed a deep appreciation for the artistry and creativity involved in anthropomorphic storytelling. I have even explored creating my own stories or artwork inspired by this genre, using anthropomorphism as a tool to explore complex themes and emotional uniquely and engagingly. AI is brilliant. And not for much for writing the content. No, that's got to come from the heart, what your stories that you write. If you do use AI, use it as like a tool, like you drive a car. You want to get from A to B at the shortest time frame as possible. So instead of walking or running or jumping on a horse, you jump in a car and you get there quicker. So that makes sense. So it's a similar sort of thing in my eyes when it comes to using AI. If you're going to be a writer and you're going to use AI, nothing as far as I'm concerned is wrong against it, though there are many people out there who will totally disagree with me. Use it as I said, like your laptop. It allows you to work quicker. You can check your work as you go along. Don't rely on it 100% because AI is nowhere near correct yet in anything that it really does. It's still trolling all the masses of information that's been stored on the internet over the years. And obviously we know that not everything you see or read on the internet is going to be truthful. So that comes across as well in the AI. It does pick up on that. So if you're going to write using AI, the way I found, if I've looked at it, if I'm writing a new chapter or a new story, I might put in a question into AI and say, what would you do with this? Give me some ideas. And it'll bang out a whole bunch of ideas to you. And majority of them you'll reject. Maybe one in there, so you think, oh, that's not a bad one. Let me elaborate more on that. And that then takes you into the chapter that you want to do. So use it sparingly and remember it's there to assist you, not to replace you, as I keep hearing everywhere. Now let us explore the fascinating history of anthropomorphism in literature and share anecdotes of characters and authors from the past. So let's jump right in. Did you just hear Goldie talking out there? Believe it or not, he's only the next door. The door's wide open to come into the bedroom and talk to me, into my office. But no, he wants me to go to him. Well, he can off. Okay, anthropomorphism, the attribution of human traits, emotions or intentions to non-human entities, has a rich history in literature. From Aesop's fables to George Orwell's Animal Farm, anthropomorphic characters have captured readers' imaginations for centuries. I decided to have a little look and see which ones over the years have I really liked, for whatever the reasons. And here is my top 10. Now your top 10 will be totally 100% different to mine. I don't mind. In fact, the more the better. It's not here to have arguments over. It's here to share your personal journey with anthropomorphism. That's what I'm doing. I'm opening up the subject because it doesn't appear that anybody's ever done it throughout the centuries. They've written like it, they've written in the same style, but nobody's ever really talked about it. So as I said, here are my top 10 anthropomorphic storytellers in no particular order. First one goes to Beatrice Potter's anthropomorphic characters in The Tale of Peter Rabbit. These stories captured readers' hearts with their human-like qualities and charming personalities. When did Beatrice Potter's anthropomorphic characters in The Tale of Peter Rabbit capture readers' hearts with their human-like qualities and charming personalities? And why was it so successful? Well, the book was first published in 1902, over 120 years ago. Characters like Peter Rabbit, Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, Freudian slip, I do apologise, and Jeremiah, Puddle Duck's human-like qualities, I'm glad I didn't make a mistake there, and charming personalities resonate with readers of all ages, especially children. Defining fact of Beatrice Potter's writes, The Tale of Peter Rabbit in 1893, while on a summer holiday in Eastwood. Oh, I do apologise, I've had a cold for the last few days. And you know what colds are like. 3 days come in, 3 days in, and nastiness, and 3 days on the way out. Excuse me. This is that third day of the last lot. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be fine. I'm going to reread that little bit again to you. Beatrice Potter wrote The Tale of Peter Rabbit originally in 1893, while on a summer holiday in Eastwood, a village in Dunkeld, Scotland. Potter initially wrote and illustrated the story in a letter to Noel Moore, the 5-year-old son of a former governess. Next one. Lewis Carroll's whimsical creation, The White Rabbit from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, continues to be a beloved anthropomorphic character that symbolises curiosity and adventure. Lewis Carroll, whose real name was Charles Ludwig Dodson, came up with the idea of the White Rabbit while on a boating trip with the Little Sisters in July the 4th, 1862. The trip took place on the River Thames near Oxford in England. Lovely place, Oxford. I know it well. Dodson was a friend of the Little family and often told stories to entertain the children during their outings. It was during this particular boat trip that he first shared the tale of Alice chasing the White Rabbit down the rabbit hole, which would later become a key event in his iconic novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Next one. Kenneth Grahame's characters in The Wind and the Willows, such as Mole, Rat and Toad, exemplified distinct human traits while living in a fantastical animal world. Kenneth Grahame wrote the classic children's novel The Wind and the Willows while living in Berkshire, or Berkshire, some people say, in England. Again, another fantastic area of England. He spent much of his time writing the book during the evening after work while living in his rented house in Pangbourne. Grahames began writing the stories that would eventually become The Wind and the Willows as bedtime stories for his son Alistair. Nice thought. I wish my dad did that. He didn't. He used this instead. The book was first published in 1908 and has since become a beloved classic of children's literature. In fact, he never moved from the rented house even when he became successful. A bit like Benny Hill. I remember, if you know about Benny Hill, a fantastic comedian from many, many years ago, back in the 60s and 70s. And all the fame that he had, he never left the council house that he was born in. Never did. Sorry, I think that's Liz down there that's messing around. Next one. L. Frank Baum's creation of the Scarecrow, Tin Woodman and Cowardly Lion in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz showcases anthropomorphic characters who face their fears and discover courage. I've got Blacky just coming up behind me. I can see him on the screen there now. While many people are familiar with the Scarecrow, Tin Woodman and Cowardly Lion, a lesser known fact is that Baum's earlier editorial cartoons initially inspired each of these characters as far back as 1900. The Scarecrow represents the rural farmer's struggle against bankers. The Tin Woodman symbolises the dehumanizing effects of industrialization, and the Cowardly Lion represents the politicians who lack courage in facing those societal issues. Baum's characters thus carried more profound social and political symbolism within the whimsical world of Oz, no different from today's farmer's plight in the United Kingdom. A firm favourite of mine has been since I first discovered him when I was probably about 17, maybe a little bit earlier. Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book introduces anthropomorphic. One moment, please. I'm going to have to go out.